among the several groups advocating the passage of the LGBTQI+ bill is the Federation of Muslim Women's Association in Ghana, FOMWAC. The group is expressing concern about the future of their male children and generations to come if homosexuality is permitted in the country. Some are believed to be withdrawing their children from the boarding house over fears of possible influence by their peers to engage in LGBTQI+ practices. But how so? Joining me on Zoom now is the president of the Federation, Madam Birat Ahmed Salis, and her colleague, Dr. Aisha Ali. Good morning to you ladies, and thank you very much for your time. So let me know more about these issues that you've tabled in the memoranda that you've sent to Parliament. And any of you can go with it. You'd have to unmute, Aisha.
Good morning to all our listeners. I'm an executive member of the Federation of Muslim Women's Associations of Ghana, Ashanti Regional Branch. And on Thursday, we had a press conference to add on our voices about this topical issue, which as Muslim women, we believe that have a lot of future consequences for us. And as you said rightly, some of the mothers are withdrawing their children from the boarding houses. And this is because most people think that that is where the children are introduced into these like unacceptable acts as Muslims. So this is how far-reaching is getting. Some people are looking at other alternatives, probably getting their kids into much more culturally acceptable ones. Okay, maybe considering day student because they have much more control over the movements of their kids, where they go, what they listen to, trying to, as much as possible, limit the exposure of the children to these how do you call it? What we call like unwanted or un-Islamic elements, in their moral upbringing to being good, upstanding Muslims. And so it boils down to the fact that for us as Muslim and as women, the concept of LGBTQ plus is more of an abomination, because right from the context of the Quran up to the Sunnah, there is nowhere that makes room to accept these acts, So it's just unthinkable for the Muslim Ummah, who are women, to be thrown into such a situation. And so people are coming out with all these things to see how best they can limit the exposure. But as Ghanaians and as Muslims, we want to add our voice and our call to what is happening in Parliament now, that as much as possible, the bill should be passed in what is socially and culturally acceptable to the normal Ghanaian, okay? Because for us, the consequences as Muslims is dire, and we fear for the future of our kids. So that is a little I have to say. I'm sure Hajia Kabirat, who is the president, also have something more to add on to.
Now, Hajia, how different are the fears that you have from the fears expressed by several other bodies who have also submitted a memoranda to Parliament? But let's go back to our conversation with the Federation of Muslim Women and to Madam Birat Ahmed Salis and her colleague, Dr. Aisha. Thank you to you both, and sorry for keeping you on the line for quite a while. But I'd want to come back to you, Madam Birat, and I was asking the question, how different is or are the submissions that you've made in this memoranda from what is contained in other memoranda that has been sent to the committee considering this bill?
Okay, for us, thank you so much for this opportunity. For us as Muslims, we believe in the Quran and the Sunnah, and there are strict principles in there, and it is not any different. We are all on the same note because this is something that our culture as Ghanaian, and it is even alien in Christianity. It's not accepted. I mean, we were told about it, about the people of Sodom and Gomorrah and the people of Prophet Lot in the Quran. They were also destroyed because of this issue of, lesbianism and Sodom, you see. So as much as possible, our women out there or our Muslims out there are very concerned about this situation because it is something that is going to affect us negatively. And a lot of people are in a state of fear, I should say, that some are even thinking of homeschooling their children because they fear that their kids may land themselves into, this situation. And, issues of religion are something that, people are very dogmatic about it. They do not leave any room for doubt or anything about it. So we would want this to be treated with all seriousness, because if we have to take the pain to be going to people to convince them that this, because, the school environment avails their children the opportunity to be able to socialize and know how to relate with people, take them out of their shells to be extroverts and all that. So if a parent is in a state of doubt and is even thinking or contemplating withdrawing the child from the boarding house because the person fears that the child will become a gay or will become a lesbian. Imagine you giving birth to a child and the child says that, okay, you gave birth to me, you have named me Kabira. Now I don't feel like being Kabira again. I feel like being Dauda, or I feel like being Nuruddin. So, what happens? It is altering the creation of Allah. And this is categorically stated in the Quran that nobody should alter the creation of Allah in Surah Al-Rum. So people are actually very, concerned about this.
Madam Birat, I heard your colleague earlier mention the fact that there are a number of parents who are considering withdrawing their kids from the boarding school because of these practices. I've also heard you allude to that. But I'd want to believe that there are Muslim schools that you're sending your kids to. And are you suggesting that in these Muslim schools too, we're having these things being influencing the children there?
Okay, thank you so much. What I have to say to this is an antisocial behavior. So, if we have children who steal from people, like take what does not belong to them, it is something that will prevail in Christian schools and traditional society, and could also prevail in Islamic society. And we are in a world where nobody is an island of her own. No matter what you do, you get to go out there, interact with people. You board a bus today, you meet someone, you exchange contact, you establish a relationship. That if your colleague female tells you that, there's this program, I want you to come along for us to go for this program together, you definitely will not decline. If the person happens to be nice, just with a smile, you say, oh, this person is a nice person. You give in, you go for the dinner. The next minute, I want to go out with you as a girl. Even before I want to go, the person showers you with gifts and all that. You establish a relationship. So you start liking the person. When you start liking the person, you won't know where that will lead to.
Yeah.
And like I said, we are from diverse background. And this LGBTQ thing is something that it started long ago. We started hearing of it long ago. And from what we have heard from people is that sometimes people give this small children. We see videos on social media where there was one popular video about 2 years ago where a small boy was seen having anal sex, the sort of gay sex with another small boy. And somebody interrogated them and he said, why in a chair or something? And the boy said, Pakwesi.
All right. So you also appreciate that this is also likely to happen even if you bring the kids home. But we would have to end the conversation here because thank you to you both, Dr. Aisha Ali and Madam Birat. I'd have to take our viewers live to the conference center now for excerpts of the orientation for the newly confirmed MMDCs. Speaking now is the local government minister, Dan Boche.